Hello. This is Jay and happy Travel Tuesday. So today I posted a video of my Margaritaville cabin, a tour, and someone asked me to share my experience. I believe someone else did maybe a few weeks ago as well. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. I do apologize. I took some notes so that I'm not like just all over the place like I typically am. So I just wanted to share that I have only cruised with Carnival 4 times in the last, 15 years. And so my comparison will only be that of Carnival. I never used any other cruise line, Royal, Virgin, any of those. So my comparison is simply compared to Carnival, and really there's no comparison. These are two completely different classes, in my opinion, experiences, and of course costs. If you know, you know. Margaritaville typically is very cost efficient, and so that's why people explore it, people including me. So around Christmas time or the beginning of December, I decided I wanted to take a cruise. Carnival was in Royal. I was considering Royal as well. They were a little bit out of my price range, and Margaritaville was just within the price range. I think it was less than $300, I think, a person, if I'm not mistaken. When we booked it on the phone and with the agent. He told us, the person that I cruised with, that it would include all fees. We wanted to make sure everything was paid up front, the gratuities, any port tax fees, any fuel, any of those things. He assured us that it was included. I'll just go ahead and tell you now, it was not included. So that was one of the frustrating things. The fuel, I can't remember how much it was. It was probably less than $50, maybe, I want to say. I wish I had more details. I didn't look that up before I called, or before I hopped on the video, because I wanted to get this out sooner rather than later, and I had some downtime, so why not? Excuse me, there's going to be a lot of that in this video. I do apologize in advance if you have experienced any type of illness since December of 2024, then you know it's probably still lingering. Okay. So this is about my experience on the Margaritaville Islander, I believe it is, out of West Palm. I want to make sure I'm saying the right one. It is Islander. And the dates were 12/25 through 12/27. I apologize. I'm in a public parking lot and my doors are unlocked, and now they're locked. And so I want to just kind of make sure that I keep my head on the swivel. You never know. So I do apologize that I'm looking away, and then I'm also looking at in my notes. So 12/25 through 12/27. This is like 36-hour cruise. You pretty much in and out. This is again out of West Palm. So I don't even know what that means. I don't know what I typed there. So West Palm and Tampa are the two locations that Margaritaville currently leaves out of. They joined Tampa, I believe it was last year. That's a newer, bigger, and longer duration cruise. West Palm is typically 2 or 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. So we were on the 2 days. So we got on Thursday, we got on Wednesday, Christmas, and we were off by Friday morning. So at 7. So West Palm, there's valet only. I think it's about $17 or $18 a day. So for the 3-day, it was, I think, between like $50 and $57 total. You'll pay that when you get back, when you recover your keys from the valet. Actually, no, you pay that ahead of time. Sorry about that. Valet only. Okay. One of the things that when you are scanning, you can drop off your bags pretty much right there where you drop off your car. But that was pretty convenient. So make sure you have your luggage tags. They do have staples and all that kind of stuff. They can help you with that as well. When we went in with our carry-on items, there were signs throughout that talked about basically don't try to sneak no liquor and shampoo bottles, conditioner bottles. They are onto that. Wink, wink. There's some other ways. Just figure it out. All right, this ain't for that. When we went through the scanner for our bags, everything was good. We got upstairs and we went to like have them verify our passport, scan our debit or credit card, all of that stuff, get us assigned and checked into our cabin. And I was looking at the handheld device that the guy was using. I noticed that there was someone else's name on there. And I was like, who's this guy? It appeared to be a guy's name. My name is actually most often mistaken for a male's name. So I assumed it was a guy. I inquired. He said that was strange. He went to someone at I guess because he was at like a little standalone kind of kiosk. He went to someone at like a window, and allegedly they resolved it. Fast forward, when we got into the room, throughout the duration of the cruise, I was able to access this gentleman's his balance, his history of his transactions. He was still assigned to our room, and so that's a security issue. I don't know if he was assigned a key to our room. He never, to our knowledge, entered the room, at least when we were there. But that's an issue, major issue. I don't know why someone else was assigned to our room from the very start. So that was a concern for me. And is that? No, that's my friend. Okay, so before you get on the ship, like after you've done all of that check-in process, you have the options to add excursions if you haven't had the opportunity to do so. Add specialty dining, which we did. We added the steakhouse there, and we just paid when we checked out. So it wasn't something I'm used to kind of paying for those things again up front, so that when I get on the ship, it's minimal spending. But that was not an option. And then we were told online that we had to call and add excursions. Again, kind of annoying. Not used to that with Carnival. I don't want to keep saying Carnival because I don't want to compare the two. We boarded earlier than our assigned time without any issues. Our assigned time is based upon your stateroom number. Most people don't know that. They don't really kind of tell you that until you kind of do a little bit of digging. A lot of things that I just don't feel like are very upfront with them. But that's just my own personal opinion. So we got on the ship. We were ready to eat. All expense paid. So we got on the ship. We tried the pasta. -0 out of 10. No flavor whatsoever. I mean, I think you can add different, chicken and maybe some vegetables. And they had like a white sauce and a red sauce basically. And I think you can add like grated Parmesan. Absolutely no flavor. I would not waste my carb intake, my calorie intake on that. I would just suggest the burgers. I had burgers probably every day. The buffets, I'm not a huge fan of buffet. I may or may not have gotten a couple of things off of there. And the dinner and the lunch, I wasn't really interested in that. I did eat off the buffet for breakfast though. One thing I will mention, I want to make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself, and I think I am. So I'm gonna come back to that in a second. I would suggest the burgers. Okay. While we're talking about food, I'll just go ahead and talk about it. So the bacon in the morning, typically there was bacon available every morning, and it was the only item on the breakfast buffet that was supervised by a staff person. So he basically would try to give you 2 pieces, and honestly the bacon wasn't even like that. The bacon wasn't even good. Again, not much flavor, but he would try to like ration out 2 pieces. I'm like, sir, extra, like we here for the bacon. Especially they do have the made to order omelet station. I think they have 2. There was one out by the burgers and then one inside by the ice cream, whatever. But it had ham, turkey bacon, and I think a lot of vegetables were the option. So there was no pork bacon on there. So I got an omelet every day. Excuse me. It was not turkey bacon, it was turkey sausage, I believe. And then I always like a little bacon strips on the side. So, but every day I had to ask extra, and again, it wasn't even that great. Now let's talk about the room. Our room was ready. We boarded, I want to say by noon, maybe 11, 12 or something like that. We boarded and there was no traffic. By the way, this was Christmas Day that we traveled there. It was perfect. No traffic whatsoever. A little bit of congestion, like I was saying, in that valet check-in area, but we waited in line maybe 30 minutes. Again, we were early, so it wasn't a big deal. But our rooms are ready about 1 or 2. So you'll know the rooms are ready because the doors will be open. If the doors aren't open to that hallway, then likely the rooms are not ready, but they were. The beds were not separated. It was 2 ladies, myself and another lady, cruising, and we didn't want to share a bed. So there was no option online like with the other cruise line where you can separate the beds online. We had to ask our room attendant when we saw him in the hallway. He did it without any issues. The rooms, I did a video of the room. Make sure you check that out. I felt like it was pretty spacious, to be honest. It was a ocean view room on deck 5, and I felt like the rooms were a little, maybe odor, maybe, or maybe standard, honestly, but they were clean. There was a slight odor in the bathroom, like from the toilet, that I didn't like. And the shower, I'm a plus size lady, okay? Even a small girl, I saw her video before I got on there. She said that she had difficulty moving around in the shower. It's tight. So I'm claustrophobic. I left the shower curtain open. I wasn't about to close the shower curtain and be in that tight space. Entertainment, we attended the Christmas show on Christmas night. That was really nice. Again, this is a smaller ship, smaller staff. Those people we saw, they had housekeeping incorporated into the Christmas show. I mean, if you was on that ship, you'd have multiple roles. You weren't just doing one or two things, but they did a really good job with that. And they also had the children from like the children play area there as well. So that was nice. We went to a bartending kind of class. It was like, I don't know. I think they show you how to make a couple of drinks, and then they have people come up and take shots of the drinks. I don't know. It was free. It was included in one of the bar kind of areas. That was really nice. The bathrooms throughout the ship were larger, typically larger, and very clean. And the ones that I visited, a lot of Carnival bathrooms, in my experience, have been very tight. The ones throughout the ship, I mean, you had adequate space. I've already talked about the breakfast and the omelets. The dining room, I would say I went to the dining room the last and full night, or the only full night, and there were two appetizers I was interested in. It was the I can't remember what it was. Gumbo, and then there was something else, and baby, that was not worth attending. So I left shortly after. The service in there was very slow. Very slow. Was not interested in the menu they had. I knew that before I got on the ship, so that's why I chose to go to the steakhouse, which was the first night, Christmas night. So let's talk about the steakhouse. It was a decent experience. The lady that signed us up in the kind of atrium area before we boarded the ship, she gave us a coupon for a free margarita. It's your house basic margarita. I'm a margarita girl, so whatever. I don't think it was, she made it seem like it was exclusive, but it didn't appear to be exclusive at all. And then you got, I want to say, I wish I would have looked into this, but an appetizer, which I got the Caesar salad. I believe that was really good. I got the ribeye, and I think it came with two sides. I remember the sides being very small portions. I got mashed potatoes, and then there was something else. I had to follow up with another video of that, but they were very small portions. I think it was cream spinach. It was something, and it wasn't very tasty. So it took a little bit longer there. The service was slow in there, and again, I know this is like 3 or 4 course meal, so there's some time in between, but we were tired. We were ready to go to sleep, and we were full, so we were ready to go. And it took a little while to get our checks. So when the check did come, my friend, she signed the check. I don't know who gave their card, but it ended up being charged on my card, but she signed a check. So that became an issue the day that we got back, because I'm like, how did she sign off on something that you charged to my card? I wasn't gonna go back and forth with them. They fixed it, and we just signed off on it. The steakhouse was like $55, I think, per person. I think the Carnival ship, the times that I've been to the Carnival Steakhouse, been a lot better experience, a lot better steak. But try it and see. All right, Freeport. I didn't know this was gonna go this long. Jeez, Freeport. Book an excursion or book at least some transportation ahead of time. We didn't. We was just kind of winging it. Again, this is like a 36-hour cruise. Really no high expectation. We just wanted to do something, and something affordable. So the taxis, when we got off the ship, like there's some minimal shopping, little shops to get souvenirs. The taxis were not readily available. It was a holiday after Christmas. It's called, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a holiday there on the island, so people were not necessarily working. But we waited, and we got into a taxi with, I don't know, 12, 13 other people, and I think it was roughly $14 round trip, $7 one way. And he basically gave us the option to go shopping or the beach. with a little bit of shopping. And most people in the van, they chose shopping, so that's what we did. Went to some area. The majority of the shops weren't even open. Honestly, I went and I got my my hair wrapped. Where is she at? Wow, can't find her. She must be up here. There she is. Got my hair wrapped, and we went to a bar, and like I bought something, a souvenir or two, and that's really it. We just kind of hung out there, had a good time, and then we went back on the ship. So on the ship, I did not go to the club. I can't believe it. I was in the bed every night, probably about 8, roughly between 8 and 9. So I didn't go to the club. It was late, like 11 o'clock. And if I'm not doing something, like, I'm not going to stay up to go do something like that. I did sleep a lot. Lastly, the pools, hot tub, as everybody will tell you, very small. I think the one like on the main deck, what is it called? The main, where you do your sail away, all of that stuff. I think it said 17 passengers is what it holds, that pool. And then there's one, I think, in the like the adult area. Again, very small. There was 2 hot tubs. I think the maximum was 4 or 5 people. So very limited space. I didn't even put on a bathing suit. Again, this was December. This was Christmas. It was rather chilly and somewhat windy. So didn't even put on a bathing suit. But yeah, I think overall, I won't probably go back out of West Palm for a variety of reasons. Mainly the drive. The drive back was crazy. It was after Christmas. And we have a port here in Tampa. I would just pay the extra couple dollars and stay an extra day or two to experience that. That's just my own personal experience, but overall I think it's worth trying. I don't like the kind of hidden fees. I did not like that, so I would make sure that you ask, are the fuel and the gratuity included? One thing they did not do was have like an itemized invoice, and I didn't like that, so I knew something was up when I didn't get an itemized invoice. It just kind of had the total. That's misleading. Let's be honest, let's be upfront. We're going to pay it regardless, because you can't get off that ship until you pay it. So at least let people know what to expect so they can incorporate that into their budget. But yeah, overall, Margaritaville, Islander, I think it's Islander. I'm hoping it's, yeah, I think Tampa is Paradise, if I'm not mistaken. If I got it wrong, please forgive me. Whichever one goes out of West Palm, the 2 or 3 day. So yeah, that's my experience. Hopefully I'll post this somewhere, and I appreciate y'all for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them. I'll be sure to respond in a timely fashion. All right, appreciate y'all.